Let's talk about how to create magic systems, or at least how I create magic systems. I have 16 questions that I try to answer for every magic system I create, and I thought I would share them with you. I try to answer all of these questions for all of my magic systems, but not all of the answers are very long. Some are yes or no questions, or some are kind of irrelevant if you answered no to another question, and so on. Sometimes I come up with other questions for specific systems as well, but these are my base questions where I start. So let's get into it. The first question is, what can the magic do? This is a big question, doesn't have to be answered in detail, but mostly, what kind of a magic system is it? Is it soft magic? Is it hard magic? Is it elemental? Is it more classical magic that can do anything? Is it a magic that is based around being able to do this specific thing? You can just start by making a list of some things that you know you want a magician to be able to do, whether that be moving things around without touching them, or manipulating people's memories, creating storms, becoming invisible, whatever you want, whatever is needed for your story. Once I have that, I ask the question, what can the magic not do? Because magic always has some sort of restrictions. There are some things that the magic cannot do. Even with soft magic systems, they have limits, so what is your magic system's limits? If you can move things without touching them, then where is the limit to that? How big things can you move? How far away do you have to be? And things like that. And of course, some magicians might be a lot more powerful and can move much bigger things from further away, and some can be weaker, but what is the upper limit? What is a thing that they cannot move? And whatever else your magicians can do, where is the limit? How far can they take it? Now, if your story isn't actually going to feature magic a whole lot, just like a couple of spells or two, then these two questions might be all you need. And that's the thing that I want to say, that I try to answer all of these 16 questions for all of my magic systems because in most of my stories, magic is important. It's important what the magic can do and can't do, and all of the other questions as well. But if you don't need to know all of these things for your world and for your story, then yeah, don't answer all of them. And similarly, you might come up with things that you need to know that I don't even touch upon because it doesn't tend to be important for my stories. But hopefully my list of questions will help you come up with your own questions if you need to, at the very least. With that out of the way, let's move on to question 3, which is, are there different disciplines or different parts of your magic system? And that is either to the nature of the magic. Some people can control fire, some people can control water, or there are different disciplines, as in some study war magic and others study healing magic, but it's the same system and they could do the same thing, but they just choose not to. There might be a side that uses magic and another one that is more academic and writes essays about magic and maybe experiments and try to create new spells and things like that. Under this question, I'd also include if there is more than one magic system in your world, if there is one elemental magic and one, I don't know, healing magic or something like that. But if there are two completely different magic systems, obviously I would answer all of these questions for both of them, but it's in this question that I start to sometimes realize that actually I want someone to be able to do this as well, but it doesn't fit in this magic system. And then either how do I fit it into the same magic system, or I actually need to create another one entirely. Question 4 is, how is the magic used? Do you need something to activate it? Do you need something like a wand? Do you need to utter a spell? Or do you need to draw something? Or do you need to meditate? Or can you just think that I want this to happen and then it happens? Question number 5 is, what does the magic cost? This is an important question because magic always has to cost something. Has to is a strong word if you're using soft magic and this doesn't matter to you, then it doesn't have to. But when I create magic systems, I want magic to cost something. And that can be anything from a fairly normal and common that, yeah, it costs energy, you get tired from using it, to you have to pay with your own memories, or you have to sacrifice someone or something in order to use the magic. And also, it costs this. The next question that's not a next question, but a part of this question is, how do you get it? If it costs energy, then is it that the magician has to sleep a lot, or do they have to eat a lot to gain that energy back? Or do they gain that energy specifically from this herb that they have to make sure that they eat? Or whatever it is, how do they replenish their energy or replenish whatever the source of the magic is. Let's pause for an exercise here, because these last two questions are things where you can really use your imagination to figure it out, and especially maybe the one about what you need to activate the magic. So let's try a thing. Close your eyes, turn your head, right or left, doesn't really matter, and then open your eyes. Now take the first thing that your eyes focus on, and that is the source of the magic. That is what you need to use the magic. How would that work? As an example, I am closing my eyes, I am turning to the left because I know what's on the right and there's nothing interesting there. So opening my eyes, and the first thing that I see is a teapot. So that tells me that this is probably a magic that has, like I said earlier, a herb that you need to use to make a tea, and once you drink that tea you have power. Or maybe different teas give you different abilities. So a tea made from that herb gives you the ability to lift things without touching them, and tea from that herb makes you able to change the weather or something like that. So this is a fun exercise. Granted, now I got a teapot, which is fairly, easy, because there is magic that actually uses tea or brewing things and things like that. But next to the teapot is a stack of puzzles, and I could use that too, either as literally puzzles are magic, which is funny because those puzzles are magic puzzles, but still. It could be that, or it could be more like a metaphor, and using magic is like doing a puzzle in your mind and you have to get the pieces just right, otherwise you can't use the magic. Try this exercise and let me know in the comments what you got and how you would use that to create a magic system. And you don't have to answer with all of the answers to all of these questions, just, brief overview. It would be fun to see. Next question, number 6, is how can the magic be used to harm people? Because magic can always be used to harm people. I don't think there is any magic you could give me that I could not figure out how to harm people with it. And that maybe says more about me than about magic, but still. The point is, figure out if and how your magic can be used to hurt people, because I guarantee you that someone in your world will have figured it out. Even if magicians don't use the magic to hurt people, one magician maybe have, or people are scared because they realize that, well, I know this is healing magic, but that could be used to do this thing, could fuse all the bones in my body so I couldn't move. Question number 7 is, how can the magic be used to heal people? And then I'm talking about physically healing people. And this, try to think of this, even if the magic doesn't actually include any healing magic, can the magic in some way be used if a person is injured? Can you use the magic to heal them? Maybe not entirely, but you might be able to burn away an infection by using fire magic and things like that. This is usually, at least for me, again, potentially says more about me than anything else, this is usually a little bit more difficult to find than how to hurt people. It's always easier to break things than to fix them. Still, it's probably there. Might not be, but try looking for it at least. Question number 8 is, can the magic be sort of stored to use by others? And this means, can a magician create a magic artifact that anyone that doesn't have magic can use to do the same thing that the magician could do with their own magic? And the answer to this question can be no. It's entirely possible that the magic cannot be stored, and if so, that's fine. But if it can, how is it done? Is it easy or is it difficult to do? And is it encouraged or is it frowned upon, and why? And yeah, just explore that a little bit. Question number 9 is related, and that is, who has magic and how is it acquired? Is it a thing that you're born with? Is it a thing that anyone can learn? Is it a thing that some people are born with more of it than other people are? If you're not born with magic, can you in some way learn? Can a magician help you become magical? Or is there an artifact or a god or something like that that can turn you into a magician? Also, how common is it? If it's something you're born with especially, is it inherited or does it just randomly happen? Or how many people in a general population, out of 100 people, how many people have magic? As you may have already noticed, some of these questions do float into each other a little bit, or they might seem like they're the same question. In my mind, they're not, but if they are to you, then just combine them, that's fine. The thing is, I had fewer questions a number of years ago when I started doing this, but in time they've evolved, and certain things have turned out to be more important in most of my stories than other things, and so sometimes I've taken something out of one question and turned it into a question in itself, and that's the explanation to why some of them might seem like they're almost the same thing. Question number 10 is there a mark or a way to tell if people have magic? And that is both, is there a way that a magician can tell that you are also a magician, I can sense it, or is there a physical mark somewhere on a person's body that means that, hey, anyone can see that you are a magician? If so, what is it? How can people tell it? And can it be concealed? Is it possible to go undercover? Question 11, how is the magic perceived in the world? And of course, not everyone in the world is going to perceive all magic in the same way, but in general, is magic something that you want, or is it something that you don't want? Is it something that people fear? Is it even something that most people know exists? Is it secret and most people don't even believe that magic is real? Number 12 related to this is, what part of magic is people generally scared of? And remember that this might be something that magic can't even do. I talked earlier about someone being like, yeah, but you could fuse all of my bones and I couldn't move. Maybe that's not actually something that the magician can do, but it's still something that people fear, like turning people into frogs and things like that. Basically, what are the things that people scare their children with? What are the things that they might believe that, oh, this has happened, obviously this has to be a magician that did this, like natural disaster or deaths or people behaving differently. Can magicians control people's thoughts and how they act, and, you know, all of those fun things. Also figure out, like I said, are they true or not? Is this actually something that magicians can do? Or is magic not dangerous? Or is it magic dangerous in a different way? Question number 13 is, what would people in general be likely to go to a magician to ask for help with? Again, maybe this is something that the magicians can't even do, but people believe they can, or some magicians can and some can't. But if people know that magic exists and it is not completely shunned, what would a person go to a magician to ask for help with? Be it in secret or be it openly. I think this is a good time to point out that you don't have to answer all of these questions in the order that I have given them here, nor do you have to answer all of them in any great detail. I usually don't answer them in great detail. I usually answer like 2 or 3 of them in great detail, the ones that are most important to the story, and others I just do like a line or 2 about. And then I add on to that as I write if I need to. So remember that you can keep filling this out as you write your story. You do not have to figure out all of these things before you even start writing. That's usually actually not the greatest way to do it, because that locks you into something that might not be how the story evolves, might not be what the story needs as it has evolved. That said, moving on. Question 14. Is there some sort of organization for magicians? And if so, what is its function? Is it an organization that teaches magic to those that have it, or is it one that keeps track of magicians and maybe even controls them? Does it exist to protect magicians from other people, or to protect other people from magicians? Does it exist to help magicians rule the world? And of course, remember that there can be more than one organization and they can have more than one objective. Speaking of this, question number 15, why do magicians not rule the world? Or do they rule the world? Usually they don't, though, and you have to figure out why. What stops them? Are there too few of them? Is the magic not powerful enough? Is it not in their nature? They just simply don't want to rule? Have other humans somehow enslaved them and made sure that they are not dangerous? Do they, in fact, rule just behind the scenes and most people don't know it? I just feel like it is very important to figure out why magicians are not grabbing for power, or if they do, why do they fail? Question number 16 is, what is the relationship between magic and religion? There should be some sort of relationship there, and that can be that magicians are the priests and they have magic from the gods and that's all good, or it can be the complete opposite, that magic is bad according to the religion, it is evil, you should not do it, you should kill all magicians. Or it can be anything in between, maybe they live in harmony, or maybe they live and let live, that I don't like you, but fine, you may exist. Basically, religion is an important part of most cultures. at least in my worlds, and I feel like it has to have some sort of a relationship with magic. Those are my questions, the ones I start with. Please let me know if you have any other questions, if there is something that is important when you create magic that I haven't touched upon, because I'm still expanding this list, and I would love to know what other people feel is important when it comes to world building magic. So let me know below, give this video a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you for watching, be safe, and I will see you next time.